Yeah, buddy. P1 right there.
All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to this week's No Toad Racing League's race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Joined tonight in the booth by Chris Madbull. What is going on, Chris? Yeah, we were talking a little bit. Uh, my bad. We were talking a little bit about this track before we had went live. You know how this track handles and stuff like that, and if we preferred new or old Atlanta. And I was saying I prefer old Atlanta because if you're gonna have the tire wear you get in old Atlanta, but the speed of the day in Daytona, give me old Atlanta back. Yeah, and this is your first time watching a race here at this new Atlanta. You're gonna see the type of racing you see at Talladega and Daytona, but you're also gonna see about 15 to 20 laps into a green flag run, people start getting tight and washing up the track. Not necessarily because you can't hold a line, just because these cars will wash up in a hurry. Yeah, and while we're waiting for this race to go green, one of the guys we should definitely talk about here tonight is the 125 of Mr. Nelson, Benjamin Nelson. He's on a 2 for 2 streak. He's done 2 races this season, won them both, and gotten pole on both. Now, granted, they were Vegas and Phoenix, a mile and a half and a short track, you could say. But this is a whole different beast. Do you think we see Nelson going back to victory lane? Copy, thank you. No, you
How
are,
about
you are,
this?
you are. You're good.
Oh, okay. Is
My
that
bad,
better now?
my bad, everyone. It was just the fact that Chris, I still had desktop noise muted.
Oh no. Oops. All right, well, let's keep it rolling. Yeah, Mr. Two Time over here. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he Coca-Cola NASCAR at one point back in what, 2019?
That's what Sarge was saying earlier. Is he ran the Coca-Cola series?
I think he's going to get another win. The dude can literally do it all. When you're that caliber of driver, it's not hard to, get a win anywhere.
Yeah, and so here's another question: do you think we're going to see a high or low line dominant race here tonight? I've seen both between official and league races. It just depends on the group of guys we got.
I want to say it's probably going to be a highline fest today. I felt pretty good doing testing up near the wall, running the Harry Gant line as much as possible with the next gen cars, but other than that, it's like I don't know. This track is full of surprises though.
Yeah, in this track, like a lot of times we go super speed racing, you want to be like, all right, right in the back and I'll play it safe. You really can't do that here because the speeds you're going, the wrecks happen so fast. It's almost impossible to avoid, especially in these next gen cars where they really don't brake that well. If a wreck happens right in front of you, you might as well say, pray and hope that you make it through it or you netcode through it somehow.
I don't know, man. I was doing NIS and I'm like I'm not gonna do NIS. I foresaw too much carnage in front of me happening. I'm just like it's not worth it for me to do it this week. But yeah, like you said, the cars don't slow down all that well. They sort of handle a bit weird. They wash up the track, and it's definitely going to be interesting to watch. But driving, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, as we get qualifying underway, riding along with the 23 right now, seeing what kind of laps he can put down.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the 23 is the current season leader, yes?
That is correct. Currently above Michael Nash by 22 points. So we'll get the points pulled up here in a bit while we're getting ready. Well, after we get gridded.
All I know is it's going to be a very fun race to watch if these guys are as good as I think they are.
Yeah, I have raced with a few of these guys in another league, and they actually race pretty well. Davey Hendricks being one of them, really good driver. He put his name in the hat for going to victory lane here tonight too.
Well, I don't have enough info on any of these guys to witness other than driving against probably Benjamin and Christian of the number 3 car. But that's because I've seen them and driven against them in ARCA, and I know that Christian seems to be better at short tracks than I am, but like I said, we'll see. Should be quite a fun race. I just hope that my pick for tonight, the 23 car, gets a win.
Yeah, I
Terry
believe
Brooks.
the 23 already put both his laps in as these guys get their laps going. The 125 of Benjamin Nelson getting his first lap put in, 3/10 off the leader, but I believe he was running the high lane that first time to get his speed built up.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The high line does feel fast, but it's not as fast as the low line. However, once you bring draft and slipstreaming and beating and banging into the mix, it tends to get pretty even.
Has a 60 of Mr. Nash going pole as of right now. Benjamin Nelson is going to fall short by 3/100ths of a second.
Well, hopefully he gets a really, really good run off the start, and we'll see what happens. TJ Warren just put down a time good enough for P10. He actually painted my NIS car, and quite glad he did.
Trying to find some more people putting in lap times. I believe Sarge is still putting one in. First time by about a little over a tenth off.
So my top 3 picks for this race today, and this is something that I've thought about. Sarge is definitely going to be one to watch because I've seen him. If he needs to get it done, I'm almost positive he'll get it done. The other 2 picks for my top 3 would be like, obviously, Benjamin Wilson or Nelson. I can't English today. Don't mind me. But yeah, it would be Benjamin Nelson because let's be real, he's probably got the most chance of winning, and then the other one would actually be Christian, the number 3 car.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably go with Benjamin, Davey, Hendricks, or Matt Forns. Just because I know Matt and Davey are really good here at the Super Speedway tracks, and I mean, who can't go against Benjamin Nelson? 2 for 2 as of right now, starting P2 here tonight, which is unfortunately going to break his streak of setting a pole at every race he's been at so far, but still in that front row.
Front row start here is going to be very important, but I don't think it's going to be as important as getting like second or third row because that's the catbird seat right there, even with the speeds that these guys are going to be running.
Yeah, so while these guys finish up their qualifying, 30 seconds left, let's take a quick look at your current point standings here. As you see over there, Terry Brooks is leading the way. Doesn't have a win yet this season, but those 5 top 5s and 7 races has really helped him out, keep that points lead ahead. Michael Nash, P2 in points with a win, 5 top 5s as well. And then you got Ryan Traver kind of sitting quietly down there in third in points. Doesn't have any top 5 or top 10s, but consistency has definitely paid off as he's just 10 points ahead of our league owner, Gary Sargent. And around at your top 5, you have Christian Loxton. I believe that's how you say his name. If it is not, I am sorry, dude. And now around at your top 5 points.
Well, as you said, consistency is sort of a big deal. Quietly consistent means you have a good chance at getting a real good finish anywhere. And as we're about to go green here, I want to point out that this race is going to be interesting. If it's not, I'm going to be kind of sad, but I'm going to bring whatever energy I've got and hopefully these guys bring their energy, bring their A game.
Yeah, while these guys are gridding up, let's actually go over our official starting grid here tonight. As you saw on the left-hand side of your screen during qualifying, Michael Nash getting that pole position, 3/100ths of a second faster than your outside pole sitter, Benjamin Nelson. Row 2, you'll have Jess Traub and Joseph Willoughby. Row 3, Jaden Kronsterk and TJ Warren. Row 4, Terry Brooks Jr. and Tyler Lim. Row 5, Gary Sargent, Christian Loxton. Row 6, Tyler Merritt and AJ Benish. Row 7, Michael Giberson and Ryan Traver. Row 8, you'll have Steve Davis and Matt Fornes. And around the field, you have Chase Harder and Davey Hendricks in the last and final row, row 9.
And to not only add into this, but I just want to say that all of those names were actually spot on. You did pretty good.
Yeah, first time broadcasting these guys, and learning their names will come. I am known to butcher names, especially ones that have weird spelling.
I just got notified. Apparently, Davey is not here due to bad connection.
Oh no! Dang it! I'm gonna need another one to pick then. I'm gonna go with pole sitter Michael Nash.
That's not a bad pick. If he got the pole off of Benjamin, then it's definitely going to be interesting. All right, let's get this party underway. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, so these guys have 105 laps of racing. If you're the type of guy that likes kind of sitting in the back and waiting for mayhem to happen, at what point in the race do you start kind of moving your way towards the front? I know.
Personally speaking, as far as like super speedway racing goes, and that's where I sort of specialize in as well, I like to sort of hold off until there's like 20 or 30 to go, because when go time hits, you know go time is here, and 20 to 30 to go, it's gonna be a full tire stint around here more than likely if these guys are just pushing.
Yeah, and with Atlanta being the way it is right now, yeah, it's a super speedway, but it's actually really hard to pass your in-game position as the race goes on.
Yeah, like I said, when I did the trucks, and we were talking about this earlier, I was trying to get up on that one guy. He was up on the high side, and the truck in front of me, and it just would not go any faster than the inside lane. So passing later on in the race definitely becomes a bit of a hassle here.
The pace car's rolling around 3 and 4 now as the number 60 gets ready to lead us to green.
Now I want you all to remember, let's grip it, rip it, and have a good run.
Green, green, green.
Green flag, we are underway here at Atlanta.
Side by side they go, and should take them a couple laps to figure things out. 105 laps would be smart for them to single file it out, but only time I tell is this group of drivers we got here.
Well, it looks like Nelson's already got a run. That's not gonna last long though. If the inside could actually start working together there. Still side by side.
You know, one of the things I just saw on the inside line is the 67 of Trav gave the 60 a push going on the back stretch, and you can definitely get away with that next year. You could throw someone forward a good 5 to 10 feet, and it's crazy how it works. I've actually pushed them to win that way. At the start finish line, I shoved them about 10 feet forward.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible when you get that one good push and then somebody's all of a sudden in front of the guy that they're battling side by side with. It never gets old. Oh. Nelson.
The 88
Nelson
having to
almost got in.
catch. Not the 88, my bad. The 49.
There was a bit of contact almost there, it looked like, with the 60 and 125 as well.
Yeah, I'm already starting to see a little bit of a gap, I believe, between Gary Sargent and no, that's my bad. That's the 555. A little bit of gap there between him and the 7. Starting there, maybe just the 7's laying back to wait for mayhem to happen.
I mean, the 7 probably is hanging back. I wouldn't be surprised. AJ, if you're listening, that's my advice to you. Don't lose the draft, but hang back.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It is so easy to lose a draft in these next gens. You could be full throttle on a restart. Next thing you know, you're losing a draft out of nowhere. No damage, nothing. You start losing a draft.
Well, as I'm looking towards the back of the pack, you've got AJ, Chase, Ryan Traver, you've got Matt Forns, and Joseph Willoughby has no draft. But those last 4 guys in the train, they're still in the draft. Once they lose the draft, though, they're probably going to be running about 170, if that, 175.
I believe the 121 started from the pit, so that's why he's so far back from this pack right now.
Yeah, there was something about a PC restart that I saw in the chat, and I'm like, oh no.
But going back to the lead right now, 60 is still trying to edge out the 125 ever so slightly.
The
and he's
60
getting
is
him clear.
So he has that option to move to the high side now if he really wants to. But he's
Whoa!
gonna keep it low.
Something happened back here with the 88. Not the 88, my bad.
Benjamin Nelson definitely gonna give it his all.
Yeah, these guys started single filed out now that we have 2 distinct packs. One led by the 60 and the other one led by the 23 of Brooks. And then you got another gap behind behind him with a 3 lead in that pack.
Well, not right now. Now TJ's in front of it. But these packs tend to thin out very quickly here. And it's unfortunate because you lose the draft and that's that, like we've said, and it's that important. Hopefully, like I said, though, once a track wears in, they'll bring back the old intermediate package. And man, oh, the 88 and the 125 getting a bit close.
Yeah, the 125 of Mr. Nelson looked like he was trying to look to the outside. All the momentum he had died quickly. He tucked in back behind the 88 as the 67 is all over the back bumper of the 60.
And honestly, with that push, there's not much you can really do. Oh, 88's going for it. 67 got up. Forced outside.
67 left the door open ever so slightly. 88 took advantage of that.
Yep, just left the door open. And
he's going to do it again for the lead.
Benjamin's going to push. Jaden's in the lead right now. And then we got Benjamin slowly behind them. And then we got P3, Terry Brooks, currently speaking. Yeah, and then battle for 4th is going to start unfolding here, I feel like. that backpack is actually coming in, too. From 7th back. They're still pretty big, sizable, size-wise, of a pack.
Yeah, and they're actually slowly but surely catching this lead pack of cars right here.
That lead pack is definitely fighting a bit too hard. If they were smart, they'd work together to pull away. They wouldn't, go high side, low side. TJ Warren getting a huge push across the start-finish line by the 555 of Duke Davis, and absolutely just ripping it down into turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, keeping an eye on the 60 of Michael Nash, and he's been washing up the track these last couple of laps. I'm wondering if these cars are already starting to get tired on these guys.
By the looks of it, it kind of is, because some people are better at saving tires than others, and, that's obviously driver skill coming into play there as well as car setup. But it's one of those, you sort of drive it, you feel it out, and go from there. Man, I can't help but feel bad for Joseph. I feel that pain so much, brother. Just all by his lonesome, running a quiet race, no draft.
Like when you get wrecked at NAS race and you're just staying in there for safety rating, doing 20 miles slower than the whole leader. Says we have Benjamin Nelson looking to lead here on the 88, got a run going through the quad oval. 88 going to try to side draft him, rolling through 1 and 2. The 23 is going to jump up there to help Benjamin.
Terry Brooks is going to follow him through. And another thing, too, is who do you really want to work with at this track? That's the question that I have to ask. Because, like I said, you got that front pack that's pulled away, and then you've got that back pack that's sort of slowly but quietly working together.
I think if are the people running in the front, your friends are just where you find them right now. That 125, he had help getting up to lead by Terry Brooks, and now Terry Brooks is going to fall to the rear of this lead pack. Hopefully he doesn't lose that draft there. Nelson definitely left him up there hanging. And that's one of the most frustrating things that can happen in a Super Speedway race. You help someone to the lead, and they just ditch you. It's like, come on, man. I just put you in the lead. You're going to leave me like that?
Well, to me, it looked like Nelson was covering his inside more than anything. But yeah, it is frustrating. You lose the draft, and then all of a sudden you're just at the back of that pack. But it looks like Brooks is still holding on to that draft. So, but Jess is sliding up already. So these cars are really starting to push now. Oh man, I cannot stress how frustrating that is when your car just slides up the track like that, and you're like, turn.
Yeah, you're
Don't
like
be a pig.
you're like turn at 170 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it turns into. It's just a shame because like you get a real good run into the corner and it just doesn't want to turn, and then it's like and then you're almost up into the wall with like 20 laps in.
But taking a look at some last lap times here, last time by the second group led by the 49 of TJ Warren was about about half a tenth quicker than the front pack as they cross the start finish line here. Let's see if they made any ground.
And that's the beauty of that too, is that you work together and you find out, oh, we're catching the front pack. Come on, guys, let's pick up the pace.
A little bit slower that time, about 2/10 off.
The main thing here is that front pack seems to be more consistent. But Joseph Willoughby is now crossing the line for lap 17. I just hope that he doesn't get lapped too early on. I hope he has a chance to actually fight for the win.
Yeah, another thing we haven't talked about tonight is green flag pit stops. If we get there, this is a very tricky track where you have to call it out. If you do not call it out, you will get rear-ended and spun around in a hurry.
That's true, and I want to stress out that even though I did most of my testing in AI sessions, I was still, keying up the mic in an AI session, pitting in or hitting the button.
Like they could hear you.
Yeah, even though they can't hear me, it's good to practice. Good practice will lead to good results, and that's another thing that I want to stress too. Who did the better practice?
And another interesting thing about green flag pit stops on the super speedway is you want to be good, like getting on and off pit road, but you don't want to be too good to where you have a huge gap of 2 or 3 guys to where they just run up on you, train by you, and then you lose their draft because of it.
Yeah, right now Joseph Willoughby's just getting out of turn 2, and the leaders have just got into turn 1, so we'll see how that turns out. It should be quite interesting.
The plus side for Joseph is if we get a caution, he's the only car that's going to be a lap down.
He'll be the only lucky dog, so yeah. He'll get his lap back and be right back in this. As far as the rest of the field, well, they're still doing their thing. Oh, hey, look at this. The backpack is actually catching up.
Yeah, and here's the question. If you're in this backpack, you're, of course, going to get a run as you get into this lead pack's draft. As the 49 starts getting into Traub's draft, as you get that run, do you kind of stay low and just keep the train going, or do you make a move and go high and try to get to the lead?
Personally, I would just stay low. Because in my Daytona 500 race, there was the same problem that was had until everybody that was causing problems and being super aggressive either wrecked out or, just spun themselves out and couldn't catch the pack again. So, really, we'll see what TJ decides on and if he just decides to stick behind or go high. Either which way, it's a good choice.
For me, it's how they're racing. So if I'm the 49, I can see, hey, these guys are kind of staying single file. As I say that, 23 is going up high, trying to get a run going.
As you say that.
As I say that. But these guys are, for the most part, staying single file. They're holding their line. I mean, why not make a move? If you know they're not racing aggressively, you get that run, I would take it. Now, if they were getting a little dicey, run too wide, yeah, I'm going to chill out in the back. But if I'm the 49, as he's going to get a massive run here, probably coming to the quad oval. We'll see what he does with it.
Another thing, too, is having the help. That's another thing, because this track drives like a super speedway. You don't got no help. You're basically out to dry.
Here comes that run.
And there
They're
it
too
is.
wide.
Here it is. Let's see the run. Let's see what happens. The 60, 23, and the 67 are all up high, so TJ's going inside.
I don't know if the 49 of Warren got a huge run, or
He
if
caught the draft and had a huge push from behind.
yeah, he just left Davis too. That was crazy. I don't know if Davis checked up or if Warren just got that much of a run.
He got a lot of a run, but I don't know if that was, I don't know if he checked up or not. But you know, we'll see what happens the rest of the way through. Definitely interesting because they now are back together as a pack. The whole pack is together. And speaking of pack, guess what? They've got a lap car to deal with.
The lap car too wide.
Oh, this should be interesting. You think they're all going to go low? Because he's going high. He's sticking it up near the wall. He's doing the same tactic I would do.
That's the safest thing to do, especially at Atlanta.
Oh, hold on, boys and girls. 3 wide across the line as they're trying to get around. They're trying to get around Willoughby. He's just holding his line.
And they could have caught him at a better time because they caught him. Oh, as he gets into the wall, come off the turn exit.
Turn 2 coming out. He got into the wall a little bit. Is he going to try and drop down? He's getting right up there, right next to the wall. He's starting to wash up, too. Man. Oh, God.
Back to the lead. Benjamin Nelson picking up where he's left off these last 2 races. Dominant last week at Phoenix, leading 124 of the 125 laps. And he's just proven, hey, it don't matter if I'm on a super speedway, a short track, or a mile and a half, I'm going to lead this race, I'm going to win it.
Man can do it all. And that's the best part about it. And for me, it's like I specialize more in the fun side of things. If I'm doing a race on like a super speedway, I am stressed out. But, you know, nerves are a big deal around tracks like this.
Yeah,
helps to be somewhat talented as well.
In the meantime, Michael Nash working his way back up into P2, our pole sitter. You have help of the 8. No, Constant dipped back down low.
Is he going to try and side draft them down the quad oval? No, he's actually got enough momentum that he can make it work.
Here comes
he just needs help.
Here comes the 23. It's a big run.
Tyler Brooks trying to close up that gap and give the 60 a push to get up and make it 2x2 with the number 60 and Benjamin Nelson. And Nelson just blinked on my end.
Yeah, he blinked bad. I was actually on him as that happened.
23's in the wall. 3 wide coming out of 4. Brooks in the wall, just scraping by.
Everyone just blinked there for me.
Oh, no. Too much action. Oh, man. Too much action. It caused your PC to start freaking out.
It pretty much did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was getting curious there.
Duke Davis, third in the inside. No, not third in the inside line. Currently getting his work on number 60 and number 49 of TJ Warren and Michael Nash.
Yeah, I was getting curious there because the 88 and the 60 both had a run. I was trying to figure out where Nelson would go, and I guess Nelson lucked out that outside lane run just stopped.
Yeah, once Brooks got up into the wall, that was it. There was no momentum on the outside, and Nelson is getting a huge push by Jaden, just sending it into the corner. He's probably trying to get his tires to wear a little bit more by making them a bit faster through the corner. But the question is, will we see anybody try and do a bump and run here?
It's not a bump and run here; it's a bump and wreck.
Pretty much. But
we saw
still,
we saw it in the actual Cup race where Harvick didn't even get touched by Chastain, and he went around.
You think that was tire wear, or was that actual contact?
Skill issue.
For real. TJ Warren's on the outside. He's got no help, though. Oh, man. He's got help coming, but how soon? Michael Nash trying to get up to his back bumper.
Yeah, real quick, how about Mr. Davis here, up 11 spots from the start of this race. Currently running in that 4th position, and right behind him, he has his good old buddy, the 194, Michael Giberson.
And I'm gonna bring it back to what I said earlier about the prime spot, prime time. This is where you want to be at the end of the race for Duke Davis, because if they wreck in front of you, that's it. You've already got the win. You don't have to work that hard from there, and that's the beauty of super speedway racing.
And
oh man, basically P9 back is like, or P7 to P9. You've got TJ Warren on the outside. He's finally got some help, as his help seems to just drift wide anyways. Oh man,
what happened to 60? He was running P2 about 5 laps ago. Now currently running just inside the top 10.
He lost all the help behind him when that happened. And it's unfortunate, but that's super speedway racing in a nutshell. Now he's got some help in front of him, but will the 60 car have help behind him? You've got Chase Harden in the 008. Really beautiful paint job, by the way. God, I love that old Papyrus scheme. But you got the 008, he's coming up behind him too.
Yeah,
that
one of
Highline's going to come in later.
One of the tricky things about the Highline is when you're on the Highline, you think you're getting the runs, but the further you move up in the pack and the less checkups are, the harder it is to make ground, especially if you're not linked up. You could run solo on the Highline and gain 5 spots because there's so many checkups. Once you get towards the front and the checkups start becoming less and less, it's really hard to gain all that ground.
Ooh, what a shot into turn 3 and 4. Number 60 gave the 49.
Put him in the wall.
Oh my god. That Highline's starting to form up a little bit, but there's going to be literally next to nothing going on here for quite some time, I feel. It'll come in later, but till then...
Well, there'll be something going on here, but we're probably getting green flag pit stops coming in here in a couple laps.
But what do you think is going to happen after that? That's the real kicker. Do we think that we're going to have cautions? Because if we have a caution now, it's perfect timing, but... I don't know. This battle in the mid-pack, though, has got me absolutely enthralled. TJ Warren is going for it. He does not care. He's got no fear. He gets a push. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, and I'm watching this, the 49 of TJ Warren and the 194 of Giberson side draft, and they keep doing that. That might end up hurting them. If you're not careful, you can lose the draft doing that as these super speedways.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be interesting regardless, though. Other than that, Duke Davis is still sitting pretty in 4th place. Nelson is just getting a good run through the corner, but then he gets drafted up.
Oh, big bump there by the 555.
Wow. I think he's ready to go now. It's only lap 40, boys. Settle down. Settle down, settle in.
You guys have been pretty calm, though. I mean, we've had some 2-wide racing, but I haven't seen a lot of pinching going on in the corners.
He's going for it. He's got no help, though. He's going to try it again coming into 3 and 4.
I think this is a part of the race.
Oh, what a run.
I think this is part of the race where I mic up like, will you push me?
Oh, man. Yeah, for real. I'd be the same way. I'd be like, dude, just get up on my bumper. Just don't worry. If I wreck, I wreck. It'll put on a show for sure.
I would rather get wrecked, getting pushed, than getting wrecked riding a single or side by side like this, and someone watch up the track and smack me.
I would be more upset riding around single file and getting wrecked, but I think TJ's just going to try and slot in behind the 555 of Duke. I don't blame him if he tries it. He's going to fight for the top 5 if he has to.
Oh, he's trying it. Oh!
Slots right in like nothing ever happened. Oh, man. Another thing I'd like to point out is that the lap times are starting to fall down. And apparently Jaden is going to pit. This is interesting. Green flag pit stops are a go. We got Benjamin, we got Jaden, we got
Oh!
Duke. Oh, big lockup from a few people.
He still got his...
Christian, TJ look like they locked up.
Now, this is going to hurt the 26. He stayed out, but he is all by himself out there.
The number 60 just got a bump on pit road from the 121. Oh my god. I'm rooting for Joseph this race. Forget about the picks I said at the start. I want Joseph to win this.
Everyone else starting to come down pit lane. Kind of curious if we see anyone with a black flag after that.
Getting right side tires now.
So this is what I was talking about earlier about getting too good of a pit stop. If you look at the 129 of Benjamin Nelson, he has a massive gap over Duke Davis. As those guys get formed up and get a draft going, they're just going to train right by him.
The 194 just got a push from the number 3 car, so this should be interesting how soon that happens. Because Duke is also pretty far forward. Whether or not they're going to try and push him, that's, you know, up to them. But if I... Oh, I just saw a puff of smoke somewhere. What happened?
Pit lane, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw a big puff of smoke. I'm like, who wrecked? Nobody wrecked.
Duke and Steven, they race with each other. They're actually teammates in another league. So I don't see them trying to pass for position right now. They're just going to work together to catch this 125 of Benjamin Nelson. And the 26, I thought the 26 was actually going to get hurt pitting as late as he did, but he's actually running in second spot right now.
Yeah, but now they're going to go ripping around his outside here. The big thing here is how well did he save his tires? Because if Tyler saved his tires quite well, he could probably make better fuel runs too on that. And that's another thing that comes into play with the strategy.
Oh, I think he took rights. There's a lot of people who took rights. But here comes...
I know, I saw that.
Duke and Michael, what do they do with the 125? I don't see the 125 block, and he knows it wouldn't be too smart of him. And he
knows it's better to hold the inside line. According to iRacing, and from what I could tell, Duke actually led that lap. Right on, brother. Let's check up on Joseph. P17 just crossed the start-finish line. And he's just running his own race still. I want to see him win this one. I think he's got it in him.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, I don't believe anyone got a speeding penalty that time. But the 125 looking to the outside of the 194, going for the lead, got a massive run. All by himself, and he's going to clear Duke Davis.
And he has cleared Duke Davis, just like that. He got help from the 26. No doubt about it. Tyler probably gave him a huge push down the backstretch, and they were both in the draft. And now Nelson is back in the lead.
Let's go back and see. Let's go back so we can see that run he got out of nowhere here. So you see him riding the bottom, sitting back a little bit. The 3 of Christian Loxton above him. I'll let you look for back. Here's the one we want. Right here, they're going through the quad oval. Just gets a massive run, runs through the quad oval to the outside of Giverson. He goes and just keeps on carrying that run. A little bit of side draft on Duke Davis. Exit of turn 2, he has him cleared.
Man, that was a run. That was almost a run like Silicon Valley Bank. That could have ended in disaster had nobody actually looked in their mirrors, you know? And then Duke Davis is right behind drafting with Benjamin, so...
Yeah, he don't...
And then in third,
he wasn't in the...
Michael Giberson.
He wasn't in the Pro Series for just out of luck. I mean... People always say, oh, speedways are all luck, no skill. That what he did was some serious skill.
The thing is, too, if everybody's working together like this front pack is now, you know, it makes it infinitely easier to make moves like that if you get help or don't get help. It's like, again, and TJ Warren, again, leading the rear pack in P7, but still about a backstretch lengths away. But slowly but quietly catching these guys.
I think actually they're losing them ever so slightly. We take a look at some last lap times here. You look at Benjamin Nelson's last lap of the 30.4 and TJ Warren. Oh, they're about the same actually.
30.4.
30.4.
Like I said, they're about a backstretch and no, they're about half a backstretch. This should be interesting. There's 2 packs back there though. The second pack or the third pack is led by Gary Sargent. In Sarge we trust. And then obviously he's with Chase Harden and AJ Binish, and then there's another three car pack behind them.
Now the interesting thing though I'm seeing is if these guys run like the way they are coming to the white flag, Benjamin Nelson's gonna have his hands full of these 2 cars behind him because they are for. I know they're in a Discord call and I know they're working together, so that's gonna be interesting to see Benjamin fend off 2 teammates basically.
I think he's got it. There's no way that he doesn't, pull a rabbit out of his hat. You know what I mean? I feel like this man is more of a magician than I could ever hope to accomplish. What a big push going into 3 by Duke. Oh my god. Insanity.
Yeah, and that gap back to that second group was a 2.5, now a 2.67. So
they are pulling away in that front pack. The leaders are definitely working, but they have more cars to work with.
It's not
As Michael Nash and Terry Brooks are starting to wash out again, it looks like. I hope that's not the case.
I don't think necessarily that they have more cars. It's just that front pack looks so much more formed than than the second pack does.
Well, the big thing too is how well are they working with one another?
Because I'm just
that second pack is not working all that well together.
Nah, and I'm watching this.
They've only got TJ Warren working with Jaden, and it's like, oh. I just hope they can catch them.
And if you're that 60 of Nash, you gotta try to stay on the 88th bumper to break that bubble to keep this front group going. And that's what's really hurting them is, I mean, the 88th there on the back bumper now, but once that bubble gets broken...
26 is up high. He's up on the high line. They just caught Willoughby. Drops back down inside turn 1. Willoughby holds it high again.
2 laps down.
Man.
Like
we just passed the halfway point too a little bit ago.
Yeah, and going back to the 60s, he really has to try to work on staying on that 88th back bumper to keep the 88 glued to the 49 of Warren. And I don't know if he just can't get there, which I don't see why he wouldn't be, or if he's just a little too timish right now. Or skittish.
These cars are really, really draggy. They way too much downforce for this type of racing, personally speaking. There's one thing that I would love iRacing to add. It's a better bump draft package for the Gen 4 cars, which is something that I'm pretty sure they're never going to do. But these cars bump draft really well. You glue your bumper to someone else, and that's it. You just push. Both of you go full throttle.
I just shorten the spoiler, let put 800 horses in it, call it good.
Yup. My man. But that pack of TJ Warren, Jaden, Michael Nash, and Terry Brooks, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal. Because they have a bit of slipstream if they can catch the 121. They have the speed going into the corners, but...
Yeah, but that gap now up to a 3.3. And
Oh, Sarge dropped behind 2 guys here. He dropped behind Chase Harden and AJ Binish. Still got the draft. What happened?
I was watching this 49. I'm almost curious if he's trying to trail break to try to break that bubble instead of let the 60 do it for him.
That'd probably be a smart move, to be fair.
I think that's how they're losing so much time. I mean, it's down to a 3.28 now.
Oh, Sarge just went up to the high side. So that's what happened. Okay. He's got the draft back now, though. I was like, what happened to Sarge in that pack of 3 cars that he's in? He just went up to the high side in 3 and 4. Oh, Warren's on the back of that pack that he was in.
Wonder what happened to Warren.
I'm about to go find out. Oh, they just went around him. He probably let up going into turn 1. Yeah, he let up a little bit.
Well, we got this action in Great Flag Racing. Let's actually go in the cockpit of the 55 of Duke Davis, and you can see what they're seeing as they're going around this track.
We need to have a crank it up section. If we ever get to have a caution and a green flag restart, just turn it to 11, blow the speakers out, baby. Oh man.
Yeah, and right along with Duke Davis here, one thing that I also forgot to mention is, as you see it there, it is really easy when you're behind someone right on the back bumper to kind of overshoot the entrance of 1 and 3, and that will cause you to wash up. Luckily, he had a teammate behind him and take advantage of it.
As he almost washed up.
Yeah.
As you say that, he almost goes up. But the draft is so strong on these cars, and it's a constant reminder. Like, if you lose the draft, if you lose the pack and you're at the tail end of it, that's it. Your race is basically done. And it's unfortunate, and it's frustrating. And, you know, being inside the mindset of these drivers, I can tell you that some of these guys are definitely working for that draft.
And Travis was trying to said it best in an interview after he got done with the 500, or I think it was after his duel. He said it best. He's like, people who have never done this before don't realize how hard it actually is to drive at tracks like these, where you cannot see what's going on in front of you. You can't see the corner entrance, and it gets tricky.
It does get tricky, and having your spotter turned up in terms of what you're hearing as well alongside the engines. I know some people, they actually listen to their tires more than the engine on iRacing, but that's, you know, another discussion for another day. But that also brings me to, you know, if you have your spotter on, do you have him set for certain distances? Do you try and listen for what's going on around you? Do you have a look button actually bound? That's what makes sim racing so interesting to me. The battle for 14th, they've got a huge push coming from the number 03 of Ryan Traver, too.
So, I was taking a quick look at the schedule real quick before I got the green flag run going. And I don't think we're doing Coda next week just because I'm not too familiar with Coda. We might, I don't know. But after Coda, you have 3 short tracks. We go Richmond, Bristol, and then Martinsville.
I love this schedule.
And one of the things I've always said about Martinsville, I love driving there, but I hate racing there. Because I'm great at Martinsville. It's just you can never
How
get.
dare you? You cannot hate Martinsville. Just
I hate
Matt Kenseth hitting Joey.
I hate racing there because you can never get a group of guys. As Duke Davis getting a run here, I don't think he's gonna do anything with
what a
it.
push! He's just gonna keep pushing. It's not go time yet. Like I said, it's 67 out of 105.
But Martinsville's one of the tracks I love driving there. It's just I hate racing there because you can never get a good group of guys going to where you can have an actual long green flag run. I've yet to see it, and that's the only thing I don't like Martinsville. Other than that, Martinsville's a fun track.
I mean, honestly, as far as Coda goes, next week I'm gonna definitely be doing NIS there because I'm a bit of a junkie when it comes to road course racing with NASCARs, driving them where they quote unquote don't belong. It's fun. And, you know, obviously this isn't really fun for me, but watching it and commentating on it, I'm having a blast just watching these guys work their magic, do their thing.
I don't like Coda just because the off-track parameters are horrible on iRacing.
I don't know. I feel like Coda is going to be much more interesting than this. Martinsville is definitely going to be one to watch. I feel like it's just going to be who's out in front when the caution comes out. Obviously, that's just Martinsville part of the course, but realistically speaking, I think Richmond's probably going to be the best short track this whole time.
So I was just going back to the second group here. They were up to a 4-0 gap, now back down to a 3-4, and I think they got it figured out with the way they're running, with the 88 leading, the 60 in second, the 23 in third. in that second group. 23 is doing what I was talking about earlier. Really get on that back bumper of the 60 to break the bubble that these next gens produce.
I don't think that the 23 would really have to, because I'm watching the 60. He's just Michael Nash. He's pushing Jaden into the corners, giving him a huge run to set up for outside. And, coming out on exit, they definitely get right back into it. And you can sort of see there's more contact again coming into one. It's one of those, they don't really make a huge bubble, but it's such a strong bubble, the way these cars are set up aerodynamically. It's frustrating.
I mean, it used to be really bad with their old model they had, and they fixed it somewhat. The old drafting package was horrible.
I've never driven it, thank God. I've heard the horror stories.
What you're seeing now was what the racing was 40 cars deep, because you could not pass at all on the outside.
3 wide, 15 deep. Gotta love it. Hey, look at this. The pack behind them, the third pack, is now finally formed up. Chase Harden, AJ Binish, Gary Sarge, Ryan Traver, Matt Forns, and the 53 of Tyler Merritt. As it looks like the 03 has just gotten a bit high, or he's trying to work with Sarge.
Yeah, I'm almost...
Oh, almost into the wall. Easy there, Sarge. You got this. Oh, man.
So that last lap by that second group was almost 4/10 quicker than the lead group.
Oh, Willoughby got up to 185. He had to hit the brakes. He had a hell of a run towards the back of that front of the pack.
That gap is now down to a 2.5.
And they're running really hard. Looks like this front pack is doing the same thing that was happening last time before the green flag pit stops. They're just sort of working together quietly, but they're sort of stringing out a bit too much. Duke Davis trying to give Benjamin Nelson another push going into 3. And then, that sort of strings out the whole pack, I've noticed. Oh! The 194 getting a bit loose. Or getting a bit tight, sorry. Oh, man. Willoughby still holding on.
Yeah, this next time Bycross start finish line will be 30 to go. So far, green flag racing. And
30 to go. Well, I mean, it's go time, so at this point, what do you do? Do you go in and drop down to the pits? Do you try and make another green flag pit stop to cycle out in front of everybody else? What's the call here? That's what these drivers are definitely going to be thinking about. Like, when do I drop back in and get a fresh set of 4 tires?
I'm almost curious if the second group can catch this first group before we get our next rounds of green flag pit stops. And if they do, these 4 guys really got to make sure they get on and off pit road a lot quicker, because you're not going to have this many laps to catch back up next time.
Well, I'm going to bring this back to my race at on the 500. We found out that it was easier to pit smaller groups of cars. And because I was running basically up front before cautions would come out and all that, I was up there with the leaders the whole race. I was, even though I qualified dead last, I would pit with the leaders, and we'd all come out around the same time. And that's how we actually managed to keep things quite quick. Once you get to like 6, 7, 8 cars plus on pit road, it sort of becomes a conga line, So there's 3 packs. You got the lead pack, which is consisting of Benjamin Nelson, Duke Davis, Michael Giberson, Jess Traub, Tyler Lem, who's getting a huge run going into 3. I think he's going to try the outside. Nope. You got Christian Loskin and Joseph Willoughby in that first pack. And then you've got Jaden, Michael Nash. I don't know how to pronounce Jaden's last name, so DM me on Discord and we'll talk about it. Terry Brooks and TJ Warren in that second pack. And then in that third pack, you've got Matt Forns, Chase Harden, Gary Sarge, and that's the pace car.
Yeah, and don't look now, but this second pack, they have, half of the second pack has caught up to the leaders as what happened last time.
Oh, man.
That 88 and the 60, they got a sniff of that draft and just left Warren and Brooks behind.
Oh, man. Points leader in jeopardy. Is the lead in jeopardy? I don't know. I think he'll pull something. And here we go. Down to 171 for my boy, TJ Warren. Oh, no. Oh, look at this. Terry Brooks still has some of the draft, but he's washing up really high next to the wall, Harry Gant style. Warren is just left in the dust. He's going to get caught by that second pack, and they're going to have to pick him up.
And that's, like we said before, that is one of the most frustrating things about these next gens is I can almost promise you TJ Warren was pedal to the metal trying to stick with that second pack, and once they caught the draft of that lead pack, he just got left in the dust.
And that's just how draggy these cars are. I mean, I've had that happen to me before, and I'm like, no, give me Giraftery. And TJ is probably kicking himself right now because of it, and, you know, I don't blame him. But that pack in the back, they're not running very fast. But with that draft, it makes a world of difference. So they ran a 31-1 and TJ ran a 32-0. If that's any indication as to how strong the draft is at Atlanta.
Okay, so we just got corrected on the 88's name. It is Consturk.
Consturk?
Consturk, yep. Not Constark. I think I was thinking Constark or something like that. It's Consturk. You just got corrected.
Jaden, I'm going to call you Tony Stark from now on.
Tony Stark, yeah.
Oh, man.
I know it's tradition to note that everyone get a nickname. Maybe that should be his nickname. It's Tony Stark.
Oh, no. Don't do that. Oh, man.
I don't think he has one yet.
Hey, look at that. Jaden Consturk playing mind games, possibly? Or maybe not. Hit the pitting in button, but not pitting. Michael Nash has dropped off the back of that pack now. Pit stops have happened, do you think?
I think they're about... Actually, they have started as Forns, Harden, Benish, Sargent, Traver, and Merritt are all in pit lane. As
Michael
here
Nash
comes
dropped
the
way back, so
leaders.
I don't know what happened there.
Benjamin Warren, Benjamin Nelson. All three going three wide in the pit lane.
What a move. Christian, why? Oh my god. He said, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm out of here. See you guys later. I'm taking these positions. Oh, man.
And Giberson just overshot his pit box. Oh, my lord. And he was to the left.
Oh, no. That's a rough pit stop right there. And again, that's another thing. Getting in and out of pit road quickly. I've had many instances, and not just in iRacing, where I've done that. And I completely overshoot my pit box, and I have to back it up.
He overshot it, and then he was too far to the left, had to back up again and readjust, and that is so costly, especially on the super speedway.
That is devastating, to say the least. And that, again, the race is still not over, but it's lap 85. There's 20 to go. Oh, man. Willoughby probably got the worst out of it, though. He's still 2 laps down, still no cautions. Poor guy.
And look at this, we got a 2-car breakaway, which, not really what you want to see if you're the 555 of Duke Davis.
I don't know. I'm not surprised, because they're going to catch... oh, no, they're just passing 26. 26 went in a little bit later. But now that's Benjamin Nelson back in P1, where I guess he rightfully belongs. And Duke Davis right behind him. Oh, man. And then you got Jess and Christian working together with the 26 just coming out of the pits.
Johnny Bruggs in chat saying cornstarch. Rocket.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the admins are going to get together after this race. All right, guys, we got some nicknames for Constark now. What do we want to go with?
God. Cornstarch.
That's great. But going back to racing, the three...
Christian's pulling up behind him. So
Yeah, the 3 in Traub caught Warren and Davis, and I think the 26 of Brooks, the Lem, still might be in that draft.
He's almost in no man's land.
No, he
Tyler
got
Lem
it.
is
He
almost-
recovered.
Oh, what a run! Oh my God! Almost up to 190 miles.
Oh, and
an hour
their 3
going into-
wide corner
Oh,
exit.
3 wide.
Oh,
He made it work. Wow, dude. Oh my God, Benjamin Nelson is probably seeing this in his review and he's thinking, "Yes, battle for me."
he's gonna throw a
He shoved it.
block.
Oh no, he's getting
Lem
past.
to the outside. But he has
Uh,
no help. Is he gonna be able to clear the 125? He's clear. Is he gonna take
He's
it?
clear. He's not going to take it, though. He's not clearing
Oh.
to 3. He was cleared on the backstretch. He didn't want to chop Benjamin's nose off. I know I wouldn't.
I would.
I wouldn't.
17 to go, and you got a quick repair in the pocket. Shoot, why not?
I mean, if I was Benjamin, I would just be like, why would you do so dumb? Because that's the thing. Playing it smart would be just sitting behind Benjamin. You get second place points. And, you know, the more positions that Terry Brooks is behind you, the better. Because Terry Brooks is points leader. Unless I got that wrong again.
Yeah, no,
No, yeah,
Terry
Terry
Brooks,
Brooks is points
is
leader.
your points leader. Brooks currently running in that 6th position. And then the 60, who is second in points, not having the outing he wanted, currently sitting in P10.
If I was any of the top 5 in Benjamin Nelson, this is the type of action I would want to see. I would want to see the points leader as far back down the order as possible. Obviously, it's good for the points leader too, because he can sort of work towards, okay, what do I got to do next week?
Yeah, Benjamin
And-
Nelson's only ran 2 races. This is his 3rd, and he's sitting 12th in points. So that's an insane stat right
My
there.
man is too fast, bro. Like, Benjamin, I'm gonna have to drag you in after this. Slow down, bro. Let someone else win.
Hey, he might have heard you as he kind of left the inside line open for the 26
Oh,
of
no.
Lamb.
No,
Dude.
now he's showboating. Come on, man. Showboating by running the outside. Get out of here. He's got no help behind him. Oh, man.
And these guys are coming up on a group of 2 lap cars as well. I think it's the 03 and the 53.
Oh, did they have rough pit stops?
No, my bad. It's the 7 and 28. They're coming up on.
Where are you looking?
Is that not the group right in front of the leaders?
No, the group right in front of the leaders is Chase Harden and Matt Forns. Tyler
Oh.
Lem's in the lead right now. Oh, this is insane. Look at the difference in speed. Chase Harden and Matt Forns are doing 170 while the rest of the pack is doing 180 by them. They're probably on older tires too, so when they get fresh tires, they can just dip right in. And there you go. Away they go. Oh, man. This battle for the lead's been quite interesting, though.
Yeah, while this is going on, Matt Fornes in the wall. Duke Davis has kind of lost a draft here as we come to 11 to go this time
He's-
by.
Oh, no. Terry Brooks is behind Duke Davis. I think Duke is struggling with his tires a little bit. It could be a possibility. Because he looks like he's washing up. Oh, no, he's just going to push. He's like, hey, I'll give you a push. Here. Oh, he almost got pushed by the 121 of Willoughby. That could have been catastrophic. Oh, no.
10 to go. Top 4 side by side. Nelson,
Two
Lim,
by
Loxton,
two.
Traub.
Oh, man. What an absolute race this has been. I'm glad I decided to commentate for this. Nelson's got help behind him, and if I know Christian well enough, I know he's a good pusher. Real good pusher. Oh, my God.
We need to
He
get
left my
that
boy.
125 inspecting the hauler for illegal hood louvers on it or something.
No. I want to inspect his grill. Look at his grill tape. It's too much. It's illegal. Like Kyle. No, who was it? It was one of the Joe Gibbs cars at
It
Pocono.
was 2 of them, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch.
Oh man, what a push by Lem, just pushing Nelson along.
And here's the
Oh,
kicker to
man.
that, right? you look back, how NASCAR does it, with winning a race gives you 5 bonus points in the playoffs, right? Had that win not been taken away from Denny Hamlin, that Hell Melon that Ross Chastain did would not have kicked him out because Denny Hamlin missed the Final Four by 5 points. It would have kicked Chase Elliott out.
Tyler Merritt probably just got out of the pits.
So that win right there that Chase Elliott got from Denny Hamlin, what cost Denny Hamlin a spot in the Final Four? Well, along with the Hell Melon, but
the Hell Melon was a one in a melon.
Yeah.
I know. Very bad pun. Absolutely abysmal. You could talk to my supervisor.
We got 7 to go here, and so far you got 4 in contention for that win, and I think they're all just biting their time to that final lap here.
I know one thing. If I'm Christian and I'm sitting here in 4th place, I am like blood in the water. I am hoping that they get way too aggressive in front of me at this point, because you're in the perfect position. You can get a top 3 or a win just by the 3 in front of you just racing too hard. Or you could try and force a move earlier and, get them, because it looks like Jess is sliding up the track a little bit going into 1. Ooh, what's going on here going into turn 1, speaking of? The battle for 11th as well. They've been relatively quiet in the back. Terry Brooks in 5th place. Top 5 finish will definitely be good for him.
Yeah, we got 5 to go here. Top 4 still single filed out. Probably
Jaden Cornstarch and TJ Warren working together.
Is that what we're calling him? Cornstarch? Jesus.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm sorry. You've won me over.
Good job, Rocket. Good job.
You've won me over, sir. Oh, man. Oh, TJ with a bit of a run. Can he make it stick? He is ahead for the time being, but he's got no help behind him because that's a 3-car pack.
Yeah, we got 4 to go here. I'm kind of curious what the 67 and 3 are going to do. I mean, the 26 is going to make a move on Nelson. Who do you go with? That's the question for those 2 guys behind him.
I would go with the 125. Honestly, it would be a better move because he's the fastest guy on track, period, right now. There's no way I'm not running with Nelson in front of me. If I can make a move as far as the 3 or the 67, I would just stick with whoever's in front of me. And what do you know? I think they're listening. Tyler Lem pushing. He's pushing Benjamin Nelson into the corner.
Yeah, Nelson was throwing some massive blocks right there. They crossed the start-finish line this time by. 2 to go here at Atlanta.
Let's see how long it takes for everything to just hit the fan and go sideways.
Yeah, and this ain't like Daytona where you can set stuff up on the last lap. You have to set it up coming out of turn 4, coming to the white flag.
Oh, what a push. Lem giving a huge push to Nelson. Now, if I'm Nelson, I know for a fact that they're trying to get under my skin and rattle my cage. I'm not worried about it.
If you're Nelson, you're watching that rearview mirror more than you're watching the track.
No, I found it easier
Oh, he can go to the outside.
Oh, what a run outside.
Where's the 67
What is that
go?
White flag now?
White flag is out.
That was
26 with no help.
26. Tyler. You played yourself. Oh, Christian, what a push.
67 going to get a run here.
Oh, my God. Jess is going to get a huge run. Christian is praying that these guys fight each other to the end.
I don't think he's going to get him.
Huge run. Is he going to make it 3 wide?
He's going to make it 3 wide. Coming on the line. It's going to be 67 of Traub getting the win.
Oh, my God. Close. So close. But you know what? I'll take it. If I'm Christian, I know that those are good points. I'm taking it. A 3rd place finish, man. What a finish.
Traub getting his first win of the season.
2-time has been dethroned. Oh, man. That was a very intense finish. The burnouts have begun.
Let's go back and take a look at that again for the win.
I can tell you for a fact that Tyler is probably kicking himself.
We'll go ahead and ride cockpit view here with the 67 as they round 3 and 4.
I can tell you for a fact that Tyler is definitely kicking himself, man. That was just timed a little too early, man.
One lap too early.
Yeah. What's the margin of victory, you ask? Very close. 0.043. Oh, man.
I get a good view of the start finish line. This might be the best view.
Oh, what a finish.
And I hate it for the 3. I mean, because I don't think he got
He
really as good of
he
a
had
run.
he had a good run coming into 3, but it wasn't enough. Jess had more of a run. Hands down, just bonkers run. Because like look at him. He's catching. He's like, I'm gonna send it inside. I've got slipstream and trying it now, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and I think
But
what
what a
really
finish.
hurt the 3 here is going to 3 and 4. You see him kind of wash up the track and kind of lose that draft ever so slightly of the 67. He's not getting all the draft you would really want there in that position, and just couldn't get the run off.
Yeah. Let's actually get some people in here for interviews. I think this will be definitely some emotions running.
Yeah, we gotta wait for them to get in podium finisher, but man, what a finish!
Oh no, Willoughby, love when my computer shuts itself down before grid, so I start from the pits, and there are no cautions at Atlanta. I feel that, brother.
Lord.
I feel that so much. Just looking in the Discord.
Let's bring in the third place finisher, the number 3 of Christian Lockton. Give him a shot. Christian, what is going on, man?
Pretty good.
Hey,
I needed a few hundred damn feet.
yeah, I was about to ask, man. Talk us through that final events right there, going in 3 and 4. It looks like you might have washed up there. You think you could have done anything differently to collect that win?
Uh, it's hard to say just because the cars plowed so much when behind. Like I was about fifth car in line pretty much the whole night, and it plowed every time, and it was hard to figure it out. You had to lift up quite a bit, and the car, like I said, there's not a whole lot I could have done, especially being at that point third car in line and just having the dirty air bounce off the nose.
You had a huge run coming into 3, though, so, I mean, like you said, a couple hundred more feet and it would have been yours, and I'm watching, I'm like, oh, man. So,
Yeah.
here's my question for you, though, because I've noticed that some people were taking 2 tires, people were taking 4 tires. What was your original idea for that?
A lot of us, I think this main group up here, every time we pit together, I don't know, I can't speak much for Tyler Lem, but I know for sure me and Ben and a few of the other guys, and when we all pit together, we were all taking 4 and making sure we were going to be good on tires the entire night. Basically just taking care of the tires, trying as much as I can to be able to be with everyone. Ben and I and everyone that was in the open chat were saying we just need to take 4 because it's just going to be about the same amount of time for fuel. So
Yeah, that's sort of what I figured as well. Strategy calls as well. I noticed one of the the first round of green flag pit stops. You were flying through there.
yeah, I am.
That was the second one. That was the second one.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, that was right. It was the second one. You were
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, I was not proud of that one, but I was proud of it. If that makes sense at all. I didn't want it to be that scary of a pit entry, but it gained me a few spots to be able to run up there and possibly have me get this podium. So
That was still an impressive finish nonetheless, man.
I am also very lucky not to get dinged.
Yeah, let me put it to you this way. As far as points are concerned, this is good for you because now you can actually close the gap up to Terry Brooks.
Yep.
What's the thought process? Like, are you just going into Coda thinking, can I get more points this time around? Can I maybe get a win?
I like to say I'm pretty good at road courses, especially in this car. This car you can really be on the brakes on like the Xfinity or the Arca car or the truck, just because of the way the brakes are. They kind of have like that GT3 style brake, and it helps with slowing the car down a bit, especially once they're heated up.
Yeah, you could really rip them around.
All right, man. Well, congrats on that third place
Congrats on
finish.
that third place,
Third
man.
place finish, man. And what's your thoughts going into next week in Dakota?
I like Coda. I've done a few league races there with another league that I'm a part of on Friday nights, and I've always turned out to do pretty decent there. So I'm proud to be able to be part of that. So I like Coda.
I like Coda too. It's always been a fun track for me to drive. I've driven it in so many different racing sims, but nothing like iRacing has, really gotten me like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love this, So I'm excited to see how it turns out next week.
I am as well. So thanks for having me in here, guys.
All right, good luck next week, man.
Right on. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, next let's go ahead and pull in our second place finisher. Mr. Nelson was 2 for 2 coming in tonight. Came up one spot short tonight, man. Talk us through that race, dude.
Oh, that was a ton of fun. I mean, it was a little more, separated than I expected, but it being caution free, the pit stops will do that. So it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of strategizing with each other in the chat there. We were trying to fit on the same lap, and all that was fun. But last couple laps were a bunch of gamesmanship, trying to keep each other a certain distance away and not letting everybody get a run on you.
And get a run, well, especially a run too early, the 26 car had. What were your thoughts when that was going on? Because I saw it and I'm like, that's one lap too early. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that he was trying stuff, so I was dragging the brake trying to keep him in the same spot so he couldn't really get that big of a run. But he got to my outside, and I was like, yeah, he didn't have anybody go with him, so we'll have to wait another lap to see what really happens.
It looked like he tried to clear you going into 3, but he thought better of it because then he started falling like a brick, and then you just went forward and oh man, it was still a hell of a finish. I saw that when you were trying to get up through there, you're just like quietly biding your time.
Yeah, I mean, I liked leading because I was able to control my own pace that way, but I only rode for a few laps after I got passed on pit road and stuff, so it was nice to be able to control my own pace and do that throughout the whole race.
And control you did for most of the race. I can only say that for me, it's like I'm just watching you and you're just taking things at your own pace. That's the smartest thing sometimes in these races, especially with Atlanta being so difficult to pass at.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was the right strategy though, because I was in the lead and that was pretty vulnerable on the last lap. So I don't know. I guess maybe I should have blocked a little more aggressively, but I didn't want to wreck myself either.
Well, you still get second place points, so I mean, even though it's not a win, you still gain from that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a negative. Just it was a little too late on the positioning there for where I was. I should have blocked a little quicker. But congrats to Jess. He did a really good job on that move.
And what a move it was, man. But like I said, you've definitely been someone to watch. I know racing against you in the ARCA series, I'm like, man, is there anything this guy can't do? And I'm definitely proud to watch that one and commentate on this one.
Thank you. I mean, they say that super speedway racing is pretty easy, and it is pretty easy to control the car, but there's a lot of strategy to it. You can make moves, and there's a reason that a lot of people in these races are in the front when sometimes they're not in other races. It's a certain skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my Daytona 500 NIS race, I don't know if you caught wind of it, but I went from 0 to hero because I was just quietly biding my time. And again, that's another thing too. You can't do that here. You either need to be up in the front or in the back and sort of pray for a caution. But you were up front the whole race, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna be one of those people that was hoping for something. I just wanted to get out and do it this time, for sure.
Yeah, because trying to pass here is just a nightmare.
Yeah, unless you can get someone to go with you, then you can kind of get it done like I did a few times. But other than that, it's pretty bad.
All right, man. Well, congrats on that P2. Come one spot short from getting 3 in a row here. And what's your thoughts going into Coda next week?
I absolutely love road courses. Coda's not my best one, but I am really looking forward to giving it a shot with these things.
All right, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll bring in our race winner, Jess Traub. What is going on, Jess? I don't think you led at all in that race until the final about 300 or 400 feet. Talk us through that last lap there.
I was just riding, expecting everybody to blow past us, but they got hung up, and I seen an opportunity and took it. I was kind of waiting to go into the wall, to be honest.
As Christian said, a couple hundred more feet. How do you feel about that? Because I was watching, you were like right there at the line, led the most important lap, but man, what a finish.
That whole thing
Just-
was a great race.
And obviously, pit strategy as well plays a huge part in this race specifically, this track. I've noticed
I didn't
that
have any strategy. I just followed the leader, man.
I've noticed that if the leader is fast enough, people tend to follow what that guy is doing. So, but
Yeah, and you always follow Ben.
well, it paid
You're
off
saying
tonight.
that a lot tonight. Just follow
Yeah,
Ben.
it paid off.
He knows what
Follow
he's
the
doing.
fastest
Yeah. Follow the
But,
pro.
uh, But-
I just got lucky that that nobody got a run, and he didn't put me in the wall. Other than that, Ben did a hell of a race. I was just there riding along with him.
Now, I don't know. Did you see what had happened on the lap prior coming to the start finish line? Was that kind of your plan on that last lap? Hey, 26 here. He got a really good run coming out of turn 4. I'm gonna do the same thing. Or you just kind of like, okay, here I go.
Now I seen the 26, and I was like, all right, I'm getting second place. It never even crossed my mind I was gonna have first. Not like I said, I've been riding with Ben for so long. That's not even a possibility normally.
He's like,
I
take
was
a
happy
picture
to
of it
be
and frame it.
It's like I'm gonna get an interview.
Yep, you're gonna get interviewed and probably have a bit of fun afterwards, man. Immediately after you just turned around, I noticed you started doing burnouts as soon as you crossed the line. You're just like, yeah, P1.
Yeah,
Man.
almost couldn't believe it. And like I said, with Ben, you don't get many chances to do burnouts with a win. I took advantage of that.
Yeah, Ben is consistent and he's a winner. So, and now you too can call yourself a winner.
Well,
I
I
have
won't
one-
get too carried away, but it's nice.
Well, I have one question for you. Now that we're on the topic of next week, what are your thoughts going into Coda, man? Like, what's the game plan?
Just try to survive. To be honest, usually them are a bit of a carnage, so you just try to keep your car clean and just try to make it to the end. If you're in the lead or up towards the front, that's just a bonus. It's just about finishing, really.
Yeah, that's kind of how road courses go. As far as Coda goes, I'm excited because it's a track that I've driven so many different times, and like I said in the interview with Christian, I'm like, not many tracks can get me excited, but Coda's something special. I absolutely love every race I've had on it between Forza, Assetto Corsa. Haven't done one on iRacing, but I'll be doing NIS for that. I think with Coda, you're probably just better off hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, that's it. You just clench your cheeks and just hope that nothing happens in front of you.
Well,
I like
congrats
all
on the
road
win.
races, so I will be excited for it. But I doubt I'll be winning that one. That's for sure.
Well, honestly, all I can say, grip it and rip it. Just have fun, man.
That's going to be a great time for sure, regardless whether I'm watching it from the pits or in it.
Well, congrats on that win, dude, and go drink a couple and celebrate.
Man, have a rum and coke for me while you're at it.
I'll see what I can do, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Right on, brother. Good luck next week.
All right, man.
All right, that does conclude tonight's race as we take a look at the official results here. green to checkered we went. Haven't seen that done in a while. Give me a second. I gotta find. There it is. Here's the results.
He's got to find the thing.
I gotta find the results. And they're not popping up. Okay, we'll go.
iRacing,
Yeah.
iRacing.exe moment.
Yeah. We'll go the old school way. We pop it up here through the iRacing itself. Jess Traub pulling away with that win. I think that was the only lap he led, and if it is, he led the last 400 feet or so. Benjamin Nelson coming up one spot short. Christian Loxton wishing he had a couple hundred more feet. Tyler Lem coming in P4. Had a really good move for the lead, just one lap too soon. Terry Brooks, your points leader, coming in here with a solid top 5 finish. Duke Davis, 6th. Jaden Consturk, 7th. Michael Giverson, 8th. TJ Warren, 9th. AJ Benish, 10th. Gary Sargent, 11th. Ryan Traver in P12. Michael Nash going to lose some points to the leader here tonight, unfortunately. Coming up, P13. Tyler Merritt, P14. Joseph Willoughby, P15. Matt Forn, 16th. And Chase Harden, 17th. So these guys will be racing next week at COTA as far as broadcast goes. Maybe. But we will for sure be live when they go racing at Richmond. And short tracks will end the season. They'll go Richmond, Bristol, and then Martinsville. So it's going to be an interesting end of the season, to say the least.
Not to cut you off and not to get off topic, but I just look in the chat and I see, hey, Jordan or Jaden Cornstarch here. So I guess it is sticking.
Okay, cornstarch. Great. Love it.
Oh, man.
All right, thank you all for that. Those of you guys that did tune in. We'll see if we do COTA. If not, we will see you guys at Richmond when we go short track racing. And these next gens, those are a blast to drive there. So hopefully see a little more caution to give us a break.